Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Vivian and I hope you all are doing well. So in this video, I'm going to be showing you how to sew this beautiful double strap dress. So under my last video, I showed you guys how to draft the pattern. If you haven't seen that video, I will link it in the description box down below, so be sure to check out that video. On that video, I showed you how I designed the strap, how I drew the line for the strap, and how to get rid, how to avoid bulge on the zipper. So be sure to check out that video. So I've already cut out my fabric pieces of camera using the pattern, and also I went ahead and add notches to the dot points, the waistline, and also the seam line. So you want to make sure to add your notches around all the dot area, the waistline, your seam line, and also you want to use the same pattern paper to cut out your lining for the dress. Okay, so I cut this the front skirt piece on fold, and the center front of the top I cut it on fold, and the side I cut two. So for the back you're going to need two pieces for the skirt piece, and two pieces for the center front, and two pieces for the side. And also I went ahead and cut out the pieces for the strap. Okay, so the first thing we're going to be doing today is to sew down the dot points, like the dot line on the top part of the dress and the dot points for the skirt of the dress. Okay, so to start, you want to take your front pieces, all three pieces. So you want to go ahead and pin them in place. So we want to make sure that the notches are matching, just like I'm doing in this video. So we want to make sure the notches are matching on the top. Okay, so next we want to go ahead and continue pinning it down till you get to the bottom part of the top, and again make sure that the notches are matching on the bottom part of the top as well. Okay, so whatever you do to the main fabric, you want to do the same to the lining. All right. Okay, so I've pinned the front pieces together and also did the back piece off camera. So for the back piece now, I have two pieces for the back because they're all, pinned together. So for the skirts, you want to do the same thing, except for the skirt, you're only going to be pinning the dot points. So right here, so right here, I'm going ahead to work on the skirt piece of the back skirt piece. Okay, so right here again, I'm making sure that the notches on the dot points are matching. So next, I'm going ahead to take my pin and pin the dot line in place. So for this part, you want to make sure to measure your dot length. Okay, so once you've done that, go ahead and place a pin on where you want the dot length to stop, or you can take your fabric marker and mark that point. Okay, again, I'm repeating the same thing on the other side of the skirt part, placing my measuring tape down and measuring out the dot length. Again, I'm placing a pin on where I want the dot to stop. Like I said, you can take a fabric marker and place a mark on that point, because once you remove the pin with the mark there, you will know exactly where to stop. Again, whatever you do to the skirt part of the main fabric, you want to repeat the same process on the skirt part of the lining. So you want to go ahead and mark your dot points on the lining as well. So once you've done that, you want to take all the pieces to your sewing machine and go ahead and sew them down using a straight stitch. So these are all my lining pieces all cut out and also pinned in place. So again, you want to make sure that the notches on the lining are also matching when you pin down the dot point. Okay. Okay, so I went ahead and sew all the pieces of camera. So this is the top part of the dress, the front part. And so to finish up the raw edges, I'm going to take my scissors and cut out a little bit of the excess fabric. And next, I'm going to take it back to my sewing machine and use a zigzag stitch to secure the raw edges in place, just to finish up the raw edges. Okay, so once that is done, the next step now is to attach the top part of the dress to the skirt part of the dress. So at this point, you want to make sure that the dot line on the top part of the dress and the dot line on the skirt are matching. Okay, and also you want to make sure that the notches on the side of the waistline are also matching. So once you have that figure out, go ahead and pin everything in place. So whatever you do to the main fabric, you want to repeat the same thing on the lining, okay? Okay, so once you've pinned everything together, you want to go ahead and take it back to your sewing machine and sew everything down, okay? All right, so moving on to the next step, where we're going to be attaching the zipper to the back piece. Okay, so to start, you want to go ahead and pin both pieces of the back together. Okay, so next you want to place your zipper down. So next you want to measure where you want your zipper to end. So once you have that figure out, go ahead and pin it down. And next you take your fabric marker and place in a line to indicate where to stop on the zipper. So on the fabric part, you want to take your scissors and place a notch on that very point. So that way, when you're sewing it down to the back of the dress, you're gonna know where to stop. Okay. So adding notches to your project is really helpful. Okay, so once you've added your notch, the next step is to take your zipper and pin it down to the center back of the dress. So making sure to place it where you add the notch, okay, for the on the top of the dress. So next, go ahead and pin it down. So you want to pin the first one down and pin the second side of the zipper down to the second side of the dress. So right here, you want to make sure that the waistline are matching, okay? So once you pin it down, go ahead and zip it up. Before you sew down the zipper, you want to make sure that the waistline for the back piece are matching. So if you don't make sure of that and you go ahead and sew down your zipper, at the end of the day, you will notice that the waistline are not matching, and that will not be like a professional kind of looking. So you want to make sure that the waistline are matching when you pin down the zipper to the dress. So once you've done that, the next step is to take it to your sewing machine and sew it down using a straight stitch in your zipper foot. So right now I'm just going ahead to sew down the zipper using my zipper foot. Okay, so once you sew down the zipper, you want to go ahead and zip it back up just to make sure that the waistline on the back is matching, okay? Okay, so once you make sure of that, the next step is to sew down the remaining opening of the back piece. So you want to pin both sides together, making sure the right side are facing. So starting from where the zipper ends, you want to do a straight stitch from there down to where you want your back opening to start, if you want that. If you don't want the back opening, you can just go ahead and sew it all the way down. Okay, so once you're done with that, you want to take your scissors and cut off the excess zipper. Okay, a little bit away from where you stop. So next you want to take a piece of fabric like this, go ahead and pin the right side down to the right side of the zipper. So next you want to go ahead and take it back to your sewing machine and sew it down using a straight stitch. Okay, so next, if there's excess fabric, go ahead and cut that out. So next, you want to take that piece of fabric, fold it over just like I'm doing in this video. So next, you want to go ahead and pin it down. So once you've done that, you want to take it back to the sewing machine and sewing down using a straight stitch. So this helps to secure the zipper in place and also make sure to seal, cover up the raw edge on the zipper, so it won't be poking you. Okay, so moving on to the next step, you want to take the front part of your dress and place it on top of the back piece, making sure the right side are facing. So right here at the waistline, you want to make sure to line them up. You want to line up the front waistline and the back waistline at the side of the dress. So next, you want to go ahead and pin it in place. So you want to make sure they are lining up correctly. So right here, I'm just going ahead to check and it's a little bit off. So I'm going to remove the pin and readjust it to make sure that the waistline are matching, okay? So you want to make sure the waistline on the front part of the dress and the waistline on the back part of the dress are matching before going ahead to sew it down using your sewing machine. So making sure this match up kind of give you that professional looking dress. So yeah, so it's better to fix it before going ahead to sew it down. So once you've done that, so once you make sure that the waistline are matching, the next step is to pin together the rest of the dress, which is along the side. Again, you want to do the same thing to the lining. So making sure, although on the lining, you want to make sure that the center back of the lining is still open because we're going to be attaching that to the dress later on. So you want to pin the side of the lining together, the front and the back together, making sure that the center back of the lining is open, okay? Okay, so once you have your front and back piece pinned together, you want to take it to your sewing machine and sew it down using a straight stitch. Okay, so moving on to the strap. So you want to take those short pieces you cut out earlier. So this one will be for the design, that will be for the front. So the long one that's going to be connecting to the back part of the dress, you want to set those ones aside and only work on the ones that you're going to be using in creating the design for the strap, which is the short pieces, okay? So just fold it over like I'm doing in this video. So next, take your pin and pin them in place. So next, you want to take it to your sewing machine and sew it down using a straight stitch. Okay, so once that is done, you want to take a safety pin and go ahead and turn the strap inside out, okay? Okay, so once that is done, the next step now is to create the strap. So next you want to take all the pieces you cut out for the strap and go ahead and pin it down to the edge of the pattern paper. So you want to place down the pieces following the line on the pattern paper or the layout of your strap. Okay, so you want to pin it down to the edge of the paper. So we're going to be doing like a kind of a crisscross basket looking strap. So you're only going to be pinning it down to the bottom part of the pattern paper because that will help to secure it in place. So once you're done pinning them down, the next step is to cut off the excess strap hanging on the side of the pattern paper. Okay, so moving on to the next step, you want to take the long part of the strap, fold it over just like I'm doing in this video. And next you want to secure it down to the edge of the pattern paper, just like I'm doing right here. So this helps to secure it in place to make sure it doesn't move while you're working with the rest of the strap. So getting to where you're going to attach the crisscross strap to the long strap, you want to take that, open up the center part of the strap and take that part and put it in between, like you're going to be creating like a sandwich situation, just right like that. So next you want to go ahead and pin it down using your fabric pin. Okay, so you want to repeat the same thing on the second one too. Again, you want to sandwich it in between the fabric, just like that. So next, go ahead and pin it in place. Okay, so once you attach the last one, the next step is to pin the rest of the fabric in place for the strap, okay? Just fold and pin in place. So the easiest way to do this is to iron the fabric first, so that way you will have like a easy going situation. I was a bit too lazy to iron the fabric, so I just decided to do it this way. So if you want it to be easier than what I'm doing in this video, you want to make sure to iron the fabric first before going ahead to pin it down. Okay, so you want to go ahead and repeat the same thing on the other side of the strap. So I went ahead and did that off camera. So this is the final result. So once you have your pieces laid out, so you want to go ahead and take it back to the sewing machine and do a straight stitch following the edge of the strap. Okay, so right here, I'm just going ahead to do a straight stitch along the edge of the strap. Okay, so once you're done with that, the next step is to attach it to the dress. Okay, so once you're done attaching the strap, so next you want to take your lining and place it on top of the dress, making sure the right side is facing. So you want to line them up at the center front, and also go ahead and pin it down on the bust line, or which is the dot line. And also you want to pin it down at the side and also at the back, following the top part of the dress. Okay, so once you're done pinning it down, so as you can see right here, the back is still open, the back of the lining is still open. So next you want to take it to your sewing machine and sewing down. Okay, so moving on to the next step, if you're not adding lace to your dress, you want to go ahead and fold and hem the bottom part of the dress. But if you are using lace, if you're adding lace to the bottom part of your dress, you want to start by folding in the edge of the lace, just like I'm doing in this video. So once you've done that, you want to pin, then next you want to pin the lace down to the dress. So you want to pin it down along the bottom edge of the dress. Next, you want to take it to your sewing machine and secure it down using a straight stitch or a zigzag stitch, depending on the kind of lace you are working with. Okay, so once you're done sewing down the lace to the bottom part of the dress, the next step is to finish up the folded edge of the lace using a zigzag stitch or a straight stitch, depending on your preference. Okay, so once you're done attaching the lace, the next step now is to zip down the dress. So next you want to turn it inside out. Okay, just like this. So you want to make sure that the right side of the lining and the right side of the dress is facing, just like this. So next you want to flip the lining over, again making sure that the right side of the lining and the right side of the dress are facing. Okay, so next you want to take your pin and pin the center back of the lining to the center back of the dress. Okay, a little bit away from the zipper, because you don't want to accidentally sew on the zipper. So once you've pinned that down, you want to take it to your sewing machine and do a straight stitch to secure the lining to the dress. Okay, so this will finish up the center back of the dress. So okay, so for the final step, you want to go ahead and hem the bottom part of the lining. Okay, so this is the dress with the lining side. So you can see the lining part is really neat, and also the lace attachment part. Okay, so next I'm just gonna go ahead and turn the dress to the right side. Okay, so this is the final result of the dress, and I just went ahead and put it on my mannequin so that way I can do a proper video showing you guys from up to bottom. So as you can see right here, the lace part is really nice and I love it. And here is the back. So you can see the zipper is laying flat on the back parts, as you can see right here. Okay, so here is the dress on me. All right, guys, so this is the final result, and I really love the outcome of the dress. I love everything about this dress, so I hope you guys do too. I hope you find this video helpful. If you do, please don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. And also, if you're new to my channel and you're not subscribed yet, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button down below. If you already subscribed, thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you so much for popping by today, and I'll see you all in my next one. And I hope you have fun making your own double strap dress. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one.